Boston put the smack down on the Lakers. I kind of feel bad, and I'm going to tell you why. I really wanted this game for Luka Doncic, as this was the game where he's supposed to come back against the team that his last team said he struggled against, but he really didn't. If you want the link to that video, I covered that in depth. He didn't struggle. I'm going to link that below. But I wanted this game for Luka so he can kind of get that monkey off his back. That didn't happen. As I'm making this video, the score is currently 108-97, but it's really not that close. We're going to get into the breakdown of the game. All eyes were kind of on the Luka and Jaylen Brown matchup, and Jaylen Brown really had Luka in a chokehold. Like, that man was in prison. It sucks to say, and I think Luka coming into it had a bad back because he was holding his back the whole game. But if you're on the court, you can't make excuses. Y'all know Luka is my guy. I rock with Luka, but that man was in a prison. All right, he had him locked up. To start off the game, the playoff intensity was there. It honestly felt like a finals game. Like, intensity-wise, the crowd was super into it. And you know, in the playoffs, like the first couple possessions, guys look a little nervous. It just had that playoff feel. And maybe this is the finals preview. We don't know. Luka made it to the finals last year. Shoot, who's to say the Lakers can't make it this year? And Luka kind of had the look in his eye to begin the game. Although he was holding his back and everything, the look in his eye was like he's ready for this challenge. Like, it kind of was remnants of his finals last year. Very early on, I think the Celtics set the tone with Luka saying that, listen, bro, it's going to be a hard night for you. He was getting bumped, getting hit in the head, losing the ball. And to me, Luka didn't meet that physicality needed in order to win this game. As I'm making this video, they're finishing the game. Boston ends up winning 111 to LA 101. Luka still had 38, 4, and 8. I mean, the numbers were there, but the performance wasn't a Luka spectacular. You know, it wasn't one of those big ones that we're used to. Pause. Jason Tatum went absolutely bonkers in the first half. All right, 13 points in the first quarter. The Lakers kind of controlled the first quarter, but Tatum hit a dagger at the end of the first to tie the game 33-33. Now, if you don't understand why these types of games are important for a guy like Jason Tatum, let me break it down to you. Jason Tatum was drafted in 2017. Luka was drafted in 2018. When Tatum came in, he had immediate impact. He went to the Eastern Conference Finals as a rookie. Luka came in, immediate impact. And I feel like Jason Tatum kind of looks at Luka's situation like the way that he's perceived by everybody as like this basketball wizard and, you know, the young prospect that can do no wrong. I feel like Jason Tatum kind of gets up a little bit more than a Jaylen Brown, for example, going against a Luka Doncic, because Jason Tatum really wants that spot. So back to the game, man. Obviously, the Lakers didn't have Jackson Hayes, and they were super small, right? They went with Vando at the 5, Braun at the 4. Especially in the first half, it was so hard for the Lakers to grab defensive rebounds because, I'm going to keep it 100, LeBron don't box out. LeBron stopped boxing out in like 2015. Anytime he's down there with a big, he doesn't have the mentality, like the scrappy mentality anymore, where I got to get low and I got to really get him out of the play so he doesn't grab the rebound. LeBron doesn't attack defensive rebounding like that. He just doesn't. This is not that time anymore. So Al Horford, Hauser, like all these big men, even sometimes he's on a Derek White, and Derek White is active. He's a live body on the offensive rebounds. Bron is not competing with that. The Lakers missed small opportunities to punish the Celtics, right? With a great defensive team like the Celtics, you don't have many holes that you can exploit. So there was a couple times where Bron will be on a mismatch, you know, on Peyton Pritchard, for example, in the first half. And he doesn't get the ball in that mismatch, and he's down low fighting, calling for the ball, and it doesn't get to him. You can't have those types of mishaps because even though Peyton Pritchard is a smaller guard, he's always scrappy. So when he's on other big guards, it's not that much of a mismatch. So when you got him on one of your big guys, you have to punish him. And those small details the Lakers couldn't get to, and that's why at the end of the half, they ended up being down 4. They were in control most of the first half, but they ended up being down 4. How many times did we see Al Horford switched on a smaller guard like at Austin Reeves or even Luka Doncic, and there's nothing they can do? There's so many times it ended up in a foul or 2 points. Side note, the Lakers are going to lead the league in full court passes per game. Bron and Luka, anytime they grab a defensive rebound, their eyes are up. They're trying to hit guys down court. As long as you run, if you're not getting the defensive rebound and you're a Lakers wing or a Lakers big, and you see one of these guys grab the rebound, you just take off. You just take off. You beat your man down the court, the ball's going to be there. And also in the first half, Luka didn't really have it going for himself, but we know Luka's a great creator for others, and he was getting guys open looks. They just weren't knocking down a lot of threes. It wasn't until later in the second quarter where those threes started to fall for the Lakers. And now back to the Jaylen Brown and Luka piece. Jaylen Brown just outcompeted Luka. Like, Luka had back issues coming into the game, but you still suited up. You laced them up. Anytime you lace them up, bro, you got to be ready to go. You got to be ready to roll. Jaylen Brown was ready to roll. Jason Tatum was ready to roll. I don't think Luka understands that a lot of American guys, like, they look at his situation as like, yo, that's a sweet situation that you're in, brother. If I could do anything to get that situation, I'm trying to do it. You know, you got real sharks in the water. I think Luka sometimes, he's so talented that I feel like sometimes he lets his foot off the gas in games like this. Like, I don't think he understands how much it means. Especially now you got that Lakers across your chest. Bro, they out for blood, bro. He still finished with 34. Luka still got it. He got his numbers off. But when the game really mattered, in the meat of it, when it's second and third quarter, that aggression, that level of competition, it just wasn't there. And Luka's my guy. And I'm going to just say this. Vando plays about as hard as anybody that I've ever seen play. Right? On defense, he's a monster. So he deserved a lot of credit, banging with those boys, playing with the big boys. He was in a lot of passing lanes, broke up a lot of passes. But I just want to say this one piece. Vando might have the worst hands I've ever seen. He's like a cornerback, right? A cornerback in the NFL. I think Marlon Humphreys was like this from the Baltimore Ravens. Yo, you're playing great coverage. You do everything right. You're shutting down players. All you have to do is sometimes you got to get the pick. He like one of those dudes that the ball hit the palm of his hands right in the breadbasket, and it's like, bro, grab the ball because a lot of those deflections that he has could be steals. You got to convert that. I've seen at least 3 today where it's like, all right, it's good defensive play. You got a deflection, but bro, you got to get the steal because that's easy 2 points. When Vando is in and Vando is playing 5, the Lakers are going small ball. Here's what everybody has to understand. Luka is the guy that he needs an athletic 5-man because he needs a lob threat. That's Luka's optimal game because when he drives to the rim, you don't know if he wants to lay it up and he has that slow step. When he does that slow step gather into the lane, you don't know if it's going to be a shot or a lob. Like Trae Young does a great job of that too. So that really keeps the defense honest because to keep it 100, Luka's not the most athletic player. So when he gets by the first line of defense, his options are kind of limited, right? Like when Braun gets past the first line of defense, it's like, all right, he can dunk it. He can throw a floater. He can go through your chest. He can dump it off to the, like, he has so many options. Like it's dangerous. When Luka's coming off, yeah, it's dangerous because he's so skilled and he knows the game so uniquely. But at the same time, if you don't have that lob threat, it's kind of easier to contain. So Jackson Hayes, you might say, all right, Jackson Hayes is not a major player on the Lakers. But for Luka's playing style, he needs a Jackson Hayes. There was even a play in the third quarter where Luka tried to throw a lob to Vando and it got broken up by Al Horford. And the announcers are like, oh yeah, Al Horford is a great heads-up play. It's not a great heads-up play. He just can't throw it as high because Vando is 6'6". So it's funny because Luka and Braun, right? They're kind of similar players. They're both big point forwards. But if you look like deeper past the surface, Braun is the type of guy that he kind of needs 5 shooters. Right? He needs 4 shooters. Luka needs lob threat. Braun can kind of get it done on his own. Like, he's big, he's strong, powerful. His skill set is more geared towards the small ball 5 that the Lakers had today, and that's why he had more success. When Braun was in the game running the show, it looked a little more smoother tonight. And then in the past 8 games on their 8-game win streak, when Luka was in, low key, it was looking a little more smooth when Luka was running the show. But that's because the lob threat equalizes everything for Luka. Jackson Hayes wasn't there today. It really showed how much Luka's game depends on having the lob threat. And that's just offense. Not even talking about the defensive. Just having a bigger body. Those 4 to 8 points that Al Horford had tonight in the paint, down low off of baskets and free throws, might be equalized as well if Jackson Hayes is there with his 7-foot frame defensively. First half was pretty much LeBron doing his thing. It looked like Cleveland Cavalier LeBron when he was rocking with J.R. Smith and those boys and Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum was a big story. I'm not the highest on Jason Tatum. But guess what? Every once in a while, he's going to surprise you. When he wants to go and he wants to compete at a high level, he has it in him. The only problem with him is I don't think he has the right mentality to want to go and do it every night. Like, the stuff that you showed today, you got to do it every night, bro. And I could always kind of tell when Jason Tatum has it going because you can kind of tell, like, by his finishes, right? Jason Tatum loves doing those little flush dunks. And I'm like, dude, like, yo, that's the mentality that everybody's talking about. Like, he thinks he's looking so pretty when he just drops it in. Oh, yeah, I'm cute. Nah, we don't want cute. Cute not going to get it done. Cute is going to have a game like today at 38, and then tomorrow you're going to have 19, and nobody's going to say nothing because, you know, still 19. But, like, when you get on that rim, it's a different mentality, bro. John Morant trying to get on that rim. Anthony Edwards trying to get on that rim. That's just the young boys. I never seen LeBron do no cute stuff in the lane. Maybe on a fast break and he don't feel like jumping out the gym on a fast break. Yeah, he'd flush it in. But nah, bro, that's the mentality that you need to have. JT, 22-4-4 at the half. LeBron James, 14-8-7 at the half. I mentioned earlier that Jaylen Brown had Luka in the chokehold on defense. But the other way around, the C's weren't hunting that boy. Luka was a cone tonight. Luka was a straight up cone. We got to keep it 100. All right? This is what people should have been saying in the Mavs organization when they were talking about Luka. Oh, Luka's this, Luka's that. What y'all should have said was Luka don't play no defense. And that's, I mean, what can you say about that? Tonight's performance was good for the Lakers. They were riding a high, 8 straight, 9-1 since Luka came into town. And they were on that high horse. JJ Redick was looking like a wizard, which he still is. They have to learn how to hide Luka's defensive liabilities a little bit better. Just everybody else playing hard, like, it's not enough, right? It's not enough because once people get smart, like the Celtics, and just space you out and have Luka get hunted on defense, playing hard is not going to overcompensate for that. When games get going and it's the playoffs and it's hard to score, guys are going to be searching Luka out and putting him on that island, and we need to help him, all right? And the third quarter was a wild quarter. The Lakers scored 2 points in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter. Offense was hard to come by the Lakers, and I think today showed the Lakers also, going back to what JJ Redick might have learned from this performance like tonight, your third option needs to be third optioning, right? I think the Lakers kind of started the game by trying to get Austin Reeves going. This is 2 games in a row now where Austin Reeves just didn't have it. There's only so much you can do with your top 2 guys, like outside of Bron and Luka, who can create offense for themselves on the Lakers. It's just Austin Reeves. So if Luka back is hurting, Bron, he left the game with groin soreness. Who knows his physical condition coming into the game? He's 40 years old. You can't just bank on him physically night in and night out. That's probably why he got the groin soreness, is because, and Bron has groin problems since going back to 2019. This is your night, Austin Reeves. Dalton Connect is ready to go. Every time I see Dalton Connect, he's like mentally engaged in the game. Maybe you got to sit down with Austin Reeves and say, hey, bro, like, you got to start taking this. Like, some of these moments are your moments. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You have to get it going. You have no other option but to be the third option. Sometimes Luka just doesn't have it. The great thing about Luka is that he always will find it. Like, if he doesn't have it the first 3 quarters, like, he's not going to go 4 straight quarters of not having it. He can go 2 and not having it, then third he break out, and then fourth he'll not have it again. Like, he never will go a whole game without not having it, but it can compound. Like, he can go 3 quarters without having it. That's you. That's AR time. The third quarter was really the separation from the Celtics. The Celtics were up 20 within the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. The game was done at that point. Once you get down 20 to a team like the Celtics, it's done in my eyes. That's why I started the video. This fourth quarter was still going on by the time I started this video, but the Lakers made a little run, but it wasn't really doing nothing. They hit a couple threes, but it's too little too late. You can't come back from 20 on these guys, man. Like, they locking up 1 through 5. 1 through 5 is shooting a 3. They spacing the court. They know how to play with each other. They got guys that are only looking to get other guys going. They got go-to scorers. Like, this team is crazy, bro. This team is really crazy. You know what's so crazy? Put it like this. If Peyton Pritchard was on the Lakers, he'd be the third option. If Derek White was on the Lakers, he'd be the third option. Drew Holiday, if he was on the Lakers, he'd be the third option. These are guys 4th and 5th and 6th options. All right? Like, that's think about that. Think about how like this Celtics team is like historically great in my eyes, at least. I think this was a good L for the Lakers. You can't overreact to a game like this because, like I said, Luka's back was hurt and LeBron left the game with an adductor strain, and Austin Reeves is just coming back off of injury from his ankle. So like you can't take a game like this. Jackson Hayes didn't even play. That's Luka's go-to guy. Like, Luka is making Jackson Hayes a player. That's what I'm saying. It's your boy Chipoverseas, a.k.a. the NBA Outsider. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching the video. If you like the video, like the video. If you got a comment on the video, comment on the video. If you subscribe to me, I subscribe to you. Peace.